got respect on his name. Look, with the honor call for greatness, the chosen of few that carry the gift of genius, who do what they do, who possess finesse of blessed with desire, it's true.
Welcome back to Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa, whoa! I like it when the whole crew does the woof woof.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes y'all be bullshitting, y'all don't really bring it, but today we did it. So I'm back with the living legend, Gilbert Arenas.
What's happening?
Uh-oh! You got the spokes!
Yes, sir.
You got the spokes!
Yes, sir.
What the?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in control of the smoke now.
Shit. I'm going to add a little bit to it. We got the national champion, Rashad McCants, back in the building.
You know where I'm at, baby. You know what to see that. Wow.
So March Madness is on and popping, so we're going to talk some college stuff in a little bit, but technically we're an NBA show, so you know we're going to hit that as well. But first, we got to start with the biggest news of the day. Aaron Rodgers jumped on Pat McAfee's show. There's been an ongoing debate about where he was going to go. He was going to come back to the Packers. He announced his intentions to play with the Jets. But here's the thing, you know, he's a Packers great, spent his whole career there, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 4-time MVP, was Brett Favre's successor. I think the Packers ruffled his feathers a little bit when they drafted Jordan Love and basically said that, you know, they're going to put the team on his back in the near future. But in regards to Aaron dipping to the Jets, what do you think about him going to the Jets first and foremost? But what do you also think about the report that he requested that a bunch of his former Packers homies, the Jets had to sign them in order to make that deal go, along with OBJ?
I mean that makes sense to me. I mean, you know, he ain't at the rebuilding age,
Yeah.
you know. So you know, if he's going to, you know, basically the Clippers of New York,
The Clippers?
the Clippers of New York. I mean, you know, you want to bring in your own squad. You know, people you believe in, people you know that can help you win right now. So you know, requesting that the team gets, you know, these players that is going to make him successful, which makes them successful. I mean, it's a smart move.
So what you think?
Man, that's a LeBron move.
Okay.
Yeah, he LeBron'd it, you know. He gonna GM it, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I get my pieces that I need in a new market where, you know, New York is ruthless.
Yeah.
So he can't go in there empty-handed. He can't go in there losing anything. And like my homie say, they got the number 3 best defense. They're rebuilding. They're trying to come up.
Yeah.
They got some new receiver cores, but he needs people he can depend on.
Yeah, quarterback was definitely an issue for him with Zach Wilson, so I understand that LeBron angle, except LeBron, he went to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Of the NFL, not the Clippers.
Not the Clippers.
As Gil pointed out.
What would be the Lakers? What would be the Lakers?
No. Technically, it's the Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
When he was telling Toronto,
Right.
you know, I want Paul George. You know, I'll take a pay cut for Paul George, and somehow I think they missed the concept of he would take a pay cut for Paul George, and then said, and then Clippers, I want Paul George. And it's like, all right, cool.
Gotcha.
And I was going to ask y'all who's the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA, but when we look back historically, I'm going to say it's closer to what Hakeem did with the Rockets back in the day. Spent his whole career there, won some chips. They tried to give him the $13 million contract. He was like, fucking, I'm going to go to Toronto. Didn't play out as well for him there. He was kind of washed at that point.
Yeah.
Hopefully Aaron does a better job with his stuff. But let's keep this thing moving and shaking. Now we back to the NBA. So Damian Lillard hopped on JJ Redick's podcast and had this to say about the state of the NBA.
While I understand we play to win championships, we all want to win a championship, we can't keep acting like nothing matters, like the rest of the stuff, the journey doesn't matter. We can't keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's so many ways that the league is different. There's so many ways, and I think about it all the time where I'm like, man, I don't know if I can just play a long time because I don't enjoy what the NBA as a whole is becoming.
So hearing what Dame had to say, question for both of y'all. Do you think ring culture is ruining the NBA?
Ring culture?
The culture that, they devalue guys who haven't won rings. I know you're not a big team accolade guy, but it seems like the narrative nowadays amongst the average NBA fan, I'm not going to say hoopers like yourselves, but the average NBA fan seems to think, if you don't win a ring, you were trash.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's the narrative that's always been pushed is rings. That's what they've used to push over other athletes. They use rings like it actually determines how good you were as a player yourself. Like there's Michael Jordan. There's also 6 players that don't play that gets the same credit as MJ, right? So
that they're winners, that they're champions.
they're considered like they're winners. No, that's not how this shit works. Like there's some guys who they're not fortunate to be on a winning situation, in a winning culture, and you're saying their legacy don't matter because they wasn't fortunate to win a ring. It's stupid.
Man, first and foremost, I want to shout out to my boy Dame.
You came
I'm
prepared.
Repping, you know what I'm
came
saying? I got
prepared
the
to-
shoes
oh.
and the whole 9, baby. But
Coordination.
I want to say, man, like, it's a big thing because, like you said, the narrative is being pushed. And it wasn't when we came in the league. Dame came in 2012. I came in 2005, and it was about body of work. It's about what you brought to the game and how you elevated the game. And that's why I always look at your career, and I'm like, yo, you brought a different dynamic to the game that elevated it. It ain't about the rings. It's about, man, if he was healthy, what he would have done to catapult the game to the next level. So you look at Dame, and you say, how can you ignore the body of work and then also ignore where he's at? Small market, Portland, nobody really wants to go there and win, not since the Portland team that made it to the Western Conference Finals. So I look at it at the culture and you say, man, the narrative's being pushed not by the players.
No.
It's being pushed by the media, and then the fans accept that and they say, well, he didn't win here, he didn't do this. It's like, but like we said about the KD when I did the role playing, I'm like, I already won 2 championships, why y'all still mad at me?
Yeah.
Right? And so for Dame, it's like, I don't need to win a championship to validate myself as a player. I've already done that, and the respect from the players is really what you play for. It's like, as long as these other guys know that I was that guy, if I don't win, it's cool. If I do win, it is cool, but my body at work is gonna speak for itself.
It feels like that's a narrative that's been created, right? And when we talk about this ring culture in the modern era, this ring culture thing really spurned as a result of LeBron. When LeBron and Kobe were going at it, and it was the debate, who's better.
Wait, come again?
Still ring culture?
Wait, you said that started when? When LeBron.
That's when ring culture really started hitting it hard.
So it didn't start in the 80s with Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and them.
Nobody was talking about how many rings does this dude got. Everybody always prioritized winning championships. But what I'm saying is, it became about rings when LeBron had all these individual accolades, but hadn't won a ring yet. Oh, he's not good enough unless he wins a ring. You got to win 7 rings to be
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but Bill Russell won 11, and nobody ever brings that up. You know what I'm saying?
Mike actually said in an interview that he's picking Kobe over LeBron because his 5 beats 1.
Exactly. So it was Michael Jordan is the one who set the standard, and this is why. When they used the 11 rings against him, he said he has the most rings in a 30-team game. He has the most rings in a 30-team game, and that's why he should be considered, and that's how that worked.
Yeah.
So he used metrics to get rid of Bill Russell's 11 rings. Like, oh yeah, that's cute. When you got 8 fucking teams, that's cute. How about when there's 30 teams?
Yep.
I think when Jordan came in, there was like 23, 24. Then over the course of his career, they expanded, added obviously the Magic, the Hornets, the Heat, all those squads.
But by the time he started winning rings, you already had 28 teams.
Yeah, for sure.
So he was the reason. So he used that to jump in front of.
Yeah.
For Bill Russell. I was like, well, it makes sense. So he has been the standard. He's been the standard at 6. So everyone's legacy, if you're going to be a great, it's basically you have to get 7 rings, right? Which is fucking impossible.
Yes.
At this point in
With
time.
this current NBA.
Because right now, you can if two dominant players decide, hey, you know what? Let's just go after these rings.
Yeah.
Right? But no one does that because everyone wants to build their legacy first and then try to win later.
I mean, the only person you could say is really close to doing that is probably Steph with the 4 rings. I'm saying that's still legitimate, but he just turned 35. So even that, LeBron you could say, but let's be real, LeBron, year 20 now, he's probably got 2 or 3 good years left.
But
I don't envision the Lakers going on a three-peat.
Now, what happens if Steph says, all right, I have the resume, now let me just go ring chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And get those. But that's where we are now, where you have to sign bad contracts to build a dynasty.
Yeah.
It's hard to build a dynasty now because players are, you're playing great to get paid early.
Yep.
No one wants to talk about Golden State. The reason they became a dynasty is because the best player was undervalued.
Absolutely.
Steph signed a horrible deal his first contract.
That with the extension, right after the ankle injury.
At all the ankle injuries, and he got paid Drew Holiday was making more than him. He wasn't an all-star. So when he signed that contract, it was a shit deal compared to where he turned out.
Yep.
So you got Draymond, you maxing out Draymond, you're maxing out Clay, and then you still got enough money to sign KD to help. It's because of that original deal. So that's how the Bulls dynasty, everybody was underpaid.
That Scottie Pippen contract still hurts to this day, like that with a 7-year, $18 million, whatever he signed.
Yeah, so. I'm pretty sure if, Anthony Davis' next contract, he signs a, 5-year, $85 million deal. Oh yeah, the Lakers is in the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can sign 2 more max players with all the money he saved over, but it has to be someone has to sign some really bad contracts for you to build this dynasty, and that's not. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
And if you look at the ring culture, going back to what we were just talking about, if Steph don't got 7 rings, right? Steph is going to be like, damn, I'm never going to be considered better than Michael Jordan, better than these other great tier players. Because of the culture saying, you got to win this amount to even be considered this. Mm-hmm. So that's why Dame is pissed. Like, I can feel the energy of, like, why do I have to do this to be considered this when my body of work says this, right? My body of work says that I've been put in the work. So why do I have to win this amount of championships to do this? Like you said, Michael Jordan set that standard. Hey, man, Kobe is 5 championships and LeBron's 1. Now LeBron went, collected some chips. Now he can say, I'm mentioned in the category now. I broke the record. I did this, I did that. Now what can you say?
I got a question. Who has the most championships in a non-big city? I figured.
San Antonio.
Huh?
Spurs.
What, Tim Duncan with 5 with the Spurs?
Yep.
And why were they winning?
Team.
Tony Parker was underpaid. Tim Duncan was underpaid. Ginobili was underpaid.
Yep.
So basically,
big time.
Their whole team was underpaid. You're like, we're trying to keep building. That was the excuse to keep them guys from being paid high.
Wow.
Like Ginobili, Tony Parker was he already a 2-time champ?
Before he got his money?
No, he was a champion. He was already a champion, already an all-star, I believe, when he signed his first deal, and it was basically $66 million.
Yep. That was the max back then, wasn't it?
Hell no.
80 was the max.
It was 89.
89.
If one thing you know is bread. I
know what that max was.
You know what that bread's gonna look like. Well, let's go back to Dame. Do you give Dame any credit? We always talk about loyalty in sports and loyalty, and everybody got to be loyal to the team. Kobe stayed on the Lakers; he didn't leave. Do you give Dame credit for not running from the grind and staying with this Blazer squad and seeing it through?
Listen, you want to give him the credit for being loyal, right? But loyalty from the players has never been questioned. Mm-hmm. It's loyalty from the owners that's always the question mark. Players really believe that the organization is gonna build a team around them, right? So they're willing to sit there and stay and build their career and say it's gonna happen. And sometimes you get into this mode and you wake up, you're fucking 34 years old.
Yeah.
Shit. And they're in the rebuilding. How many rebuilding seasons has he been through?
Man, and think about this though. Is it the owner that needs to give him the chance by giving him opportunity to go to another team? There's a lot of conversation like it's not Dame that needs to ask out. It's the owner that needs to do right by him by saying, man, we ain't gonna be able to bring nobody in here to help you to win no chip for real. Like we respect your loyalty. We respect that you want to build here at Rip City, but man, we want to see you win too. We want to see you win. Your loyalty should be awarded. And as much as I love Dame for his loyalty, it takes a lot for him to come out and express the way he feels. Like he don't feel like he can last a lot longer in this league with the way that it's going, because he just want to play. He just want to hoop. He just want to prove himself. But then again, it's like, hey, we want you to win too, bro. We want to see you hold up that championship at some point. And it's a dynamic where it's up in the air right now. It's like it's push and pull. It's like, damn, man, what do I do? And I just want him to win too. Yeah. At the same time, I want him to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
There's this big misconception about, I guess they call them empty stats, right?
Yeah.
Not understanding this, what Dame has done in the last 3, 4, 5 years is harder than everything else.
Yeah.
For him to make the playoffs by himself is much harder. Like him scoring 40 every night to just compete.
Yeah.
Versus someone who has 3 other players with him going half-ass. Because they don't need to go that hard.
Talk about it.
They don't need to go that hard.
Talk about it.
When I watch MVPs, this is how I look at it. If I take you off, what does your team look like? Now, if I take Steph Curry off, right? He still has Jordan Poole. He still has Clay. He still has Wiggins. He still has Draymond, right? If I take KD off the Suns, they still have Booker. They still have CP. They still have Ayton. If I take Dame off his team, AAU squad.
Man.
Adult fucking league.
24-hour fitness.
Right? But that's now, so if he's in the playoffs, why isn't he considered an MVP?
That's a great
He's the only one in the group that has to go 100 miles an hour just to compete against other groups who are basically going half-ass. And I've never understood that. Like, how are you an MVP? Because you have better players on your team. You have better players. Of course you should be an MVP. You have this. I'm by myself fucking competing with you guys. Fucking 5 Bugattis, and I gotta try to beat out all you guys.
Well, you could say the same thing about Joker in Denver last year, right?
Yeah.
Like 6th seed, MVP. But even this year with this squad, no other All-Stars beside himself, you take Joker off that squad, the Nuggets.
Yes. But that's what makes Embiid third, because you do have Harden, you have other pieces that came to help you. No one who went there.
You take Embiid off the Sixers,
yeah, but you still have. You still have something.
Yeah.
But we not having these conversations. Like that conversation alone is like he's doing so much by himself. We're not giving him credit about how much more difficult that is. Like that's so difficult to go out there every night in, knowing that you don't have no one to depend on, and you can't half-ass it. Like Gil, you're so fucking brilliant when you talk about that shit. It's like, it's obvious that guys get to take half nights off. They don't have to go 100% all the time. I could take this possession off, this possession off. Go ahead, you do it. I'll sit out this game. Matter of fact, you run it. Like Dame is every night in, night out, I got to show up for my team. They depend on me. And so when you have that dependency and you a real leader and you cut from a real cloth, there is no backing down. There is no night where my ankle might feel a little, let me ice. I gotta be ready for tomorrow. And that's what I love about Dame. It's like he never gave in to that side of the business. He wanted to stay straight. So for the team not to get real pieces around him is not his fault. But like you said, it's like it's a conversation that's not being had about, half-ass 3 players on one team and don't really have to go hard all the time. But then this one guy shows up and he putting his team in position every year, and he's just not enough.
So like the Kobe, here's a great example. The Kobe when he averaged 35 and didn't win, right? As players, all players said he's MVP, right? Voters said it's Nash, right? Kobe averaged 35 because he had to, right? They were supposed to be last place. They looked at that squad and they say, oh, this is last place. He willed them to the 8th spot.
Nope.
He did everything in his power to get them to the 8th spot, right? When you look at Nash's team, 4 of those players are top 10 in three-point percentage.
Yep.
3 all-stars. Like, of course their fucking team is gonna be good. How is this even the same valuation? You got 3 all-stars versus him and some trash, and he got him the 8th spot, averaging 35. But you wanna say, well, he won't pass the ball. To who?
No.
Who the fuck is he passing the ball to? Do you think he will be averaging 35 points if he had somebody to pass it to? That is the thing that people do not understand if they never played the game. I don't want to average 35.
Right.
I'm averaging 35 because nobody else can fucking score. Now, if I have this person and this person and this person, I can average 20, 20, and 20. That's how that shit works.
Absolutely.
That's how it works, and they don't realize, voters do not realize how that works. Stop looking at the best team and it's the best player. That is not the fucking best player if he has the best team. He is not the MVP, the most valuable player in the NBA. He's the most valuable player to that fucking team, yeah.
Yep.
Not in the NBA. No knock against Dirk Nowitzki in his, right? He went to the championship, right, the year before that. He lost to Miami, right? Which makes what? Them the second best team in the NBA. So when they start the next season, they're number 2. Shaq and them, all of them got hurt.
Yep.
Who's number 1? Dallas. And he averages, what, 22, 24, and 10. Well, how are we rewarding this? What did he do? He didn't will them. They were second last year. They went to the championship. He didn't will them to, but he wins it because he's the. And that's like some of them MVPs. I'm like, that's not the best player in the league.
Right.
That's not the most valuable.
But reiterate, like you just said with Kobe, we as players, we don't want to go out there and average 35. Like, that's not the mind. Because if you're a real player and a real winner, you know splitting the pot is what is going to get you the chip. And when you have to go out there and will yourself 35 a game, it's exhausting. But it's what we got to do to get this win, or at least get close to an opportunity. So just like you said, the fans don't understand that dynamic. Like, man, real hoopers don't go out there like, man, I'm going to average 40. Nah, man, this is what my team need me to do to win. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. It's crazy to see that dynamic, though, of how fans, media might approach something. Because, again, I've never been a fan of media being able to vote for MVP, because you might sit courtside every game. You have no idea what you're actually watching. Whereas, same thing when we talked about last week, when you guys say Kobe's top 3, ask the average fan, oh, he's this, he's that, whatever. But you guys actually played, so you know what it takes, and you actually got to see it up close. A person had to try and stop it, had to try and score on them. So it's a different perspective.
So when you're evaluating talent, right, and you're evaluating how great someone is playing, Dame is by himself, technically, right? That means the defense is keyed on who? Him.
Talk about it.
Double teams, right? Sagging doubles. Like, they're keying on him. Triple teams if they have to. Like, he has to go through more obstacles to score. Has Klay Thompson ever been doubled in his career?
No.
Right? He's never been doubled in his career. Right? Curry will get some doubles here and there. Once he got KD, no more doubles.
Ever.
Right? So when you have other players, you have to play us one-on-one. You have to play us one-on-one. Dame, that he don't get that luxury of fucking one-on-one basketball. He's going to get doubled if he goes on it. Why do you think he has to set the pick so high? So if you try to double it, he has enough room to get through it. Like, I remember I'm playing against Steve Nash. Steve Nash has so many fucking players on his team, we could not double. We're going to pick and roll. They're going to sag. He's busting my ass.
Every time.
I come off the pick and roll. Here comes a hard show. now you see why. 1-4 flat. You have no help.
I have no help.
Like players like Iverson. Iverson is one man. The rest of his team, trash.
Man.
Yeah, trash?
Trash.
Juice.
By himself, finals. But y'all don't want to consider what he did was great that year. Y'all, something's wrong with y'all.
Yep.
by himself. LeBron James in that when he went to the last finals, right? Same team, he just leaves to come to LA. Same exact team, last place. Last place. Last. When Jordan left.
Number one picks when he left to go to the Miami, number one picks for several seasons.
What I'm saying is when Jordan left, what Bulls were still first or second in the East?
Was Scottie finished third in the MVP vote that year when he went to go play baseball?
Yeah. That's how good they were. That Jordan can leave and they can still be balling.
Boom.
So are you taking something away from MJ for that then?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Making sure.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
It is. I like that.
When one man has to carry a bunch of trash with him. When he was playing against Golden State, there was no fucking chance to win. Really, come on, he has to neutralize. Let's just be honest. It's him, right? His matchup is Kevin Durant, right? Whose matchup is Curry on Golden State? I mean, on the Cavs. Whose matchup is Clay? Draymond. You have to be able to neutralize. So he got to neutralize this whole team. There was no fucking way he was going to win.
No.
But then we say, he lost all these finals. Do y'all see what he has?
Yeah.
Like, stop playing. Stop with the dumb. They with the dumb shit.
Or at least become better in analysis of the game, because when you're really watching, like you said, when you're a hooper, you step on the floor and you can really play. They're gonna send their best at you. So the moment you step up, there's a guy picking you up 94 feet, denying the ball. There's a guy coming off that pick and roll. Look, we doubling, trapping him every single time, even in the post. Go get him as soon as he catch it, not on the dribble, on the catch. We're going from the baseline and from the top. We want the swing and go to the corner. They're going to beat us on the backside. We're not letting him win, right? So when you got that pressure and you still scoring?
It's hard.
What? You're a monster because you can't be stopped. But then it's like, what are your utility guys doing? Like, do we have to depend on Eric Snow? AI had to depend on Eric Snow and Aaron McKee. Backside, I got to see what they're going to do. Or are you looking at guys like, dang, got to depend on Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons? Like, they're not proven to be guys that's going to help, but they're on the team, so we got to give them a chance.
They're on the team.
They're on the team.
They got to match up with Poole. He goes against Golden State. It's like they got to match up with Poole and Clay and Wiggins if Wiggins comes back, and Draymond Green and
Steph.
That's what I'm saying. It's about neutralizing points. If I can't I can handle my spot, but can they handle theirs? If not, someone has to make up the difference.
Yes, sir.
And you're not giving the guy the credit for making up the difference to keep them trying to win.
Man.
So it's the last question I got for you on the Dame side. It seems to me, just as an outside observer, that Dame is a guy that really loves hooping. He'd probably do it for free. He's not doing it. You know, the money's great, don't get me wrong, but I just want to do this anyway because I love hooping. So how many guys really love playing basketball?
And to be honest, unless you get under the hood, it's really hard to tell. Yeah. I can say this, in this game today, there's more privileged kids coming from good backgrounds than than in the previous, right? It's coming from the inner city, and now you have privileged kids, which means there's two ways to make it to the league, right? Or just professional sports. The first one that we all know is pain, right? Not being in this situation anymore. I don't want to live here. This is the hood. I need to get my mama out, right? We know that story, right? That's the one we all hear about, getting to the promised land. There's another one, love, right? You love it so much you can't let it go. Yeah. That's where all, like the Steph Currys, the Clays, the Kobes, all of those, it's the love of the game that makes that side go. So when these two meet, which one is more balanced? This one, because he was privileged, he already had it. He already had the money, so he ain't giving up on the dream. That's his dream. Once this guy gets the money, he already got himself out of the situation. So,
I mean, if you want to break it down to two guys, you could say LeBron is the pain side, right? Trying to get him a better situation. somebody like Steph, and that's not to knock, but Steph dad played in the league, came from a strong household, and that's a debate right now. So it's not to say that coming from pain makes you ultimately better than the guy coming from love. Really, is who's going to put that work in. And sometimes those dudes can be on an equivalent level, right?
No, dead ass. It's just one of those things where it's when you're talking about who loves it.
Yeah.
It's it's just who can't stay away from it. Like you can tell the players that's getting better. That's why I said if I'm a GM and I'm a coach and I'm going into these drafts and I'm asking these questions, I want to know who loves this game.
Yep.
So when you're interviewing players, right, and they're coming in and training and they're coming in by themselves.
Yes.
I can't tell who you are by yourself.
Nope.
I can't tell what you are, what you have inside by yourself. I need to see when you're in competition to see what happens. Like I need to see the mannerisms.
Yes.
The mannerisms let me know what I'm paying for.
All right, well, fellas, let's keep this thing moving. We on the move, we on the air. We got some live breaking news for y'all regarding the Ja Morant situation.
Oh, shit.
So Ja's left the counseling program in Florida. Woohoo! But you're not
done
gonna
already after
you're
one
not gonna
day?
like this though. There's more. It's a ... The NBA suspending Ja Morant for 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. This is coming from Woj.
Say that again?
The NBA is suspending Ja Morant for 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. Apparently he met with the league. They finished their probe or investigation, and that's what they came up with.
They jumping ahead of it. They gotta. I mean, at this point, you look at it, it's like, all right, we got enough evidence that this guy's been reckless.
What's the evidence?
So
Well, just the online surface of videos and the countless things that he's been doing.
So here's the other caveat. He's eligible to play Monday versus the Mavs. So technically, we've been talking about the situation. You've been saying it's not a suspension. It's been the team protecting him. They're including those games. I think he has to miss one more game. So we're different.
Get him. Get him, Gil.
Look,
Get him.
So he can play.
I'm gathering information as we go.
So he can play when?
He can play Monday versus the Mavs.
At home.
Let me double check.
So it's Golden State Saturday, Mavs home Sunday, then he gets to play home. Got it.
Yeah, he
Ain't
gets
nothing change. Same shit that. So basically the Grizzlies outsmarted them fuckers over there.
Or he might have been practicing the whole time. He never was in Florida the whole time.
Never was in Florida.
He's never there.
Right? Am I right? He's playing this Saturday, Golden State, then Monday.
Yeah, so he's eligible
Home
to play
game.
Monday. Home game.
I'm never wrong!
Jump ahead of it.
Baby, Man, hey, listen, listen. Y'all ain't gonna keep, listen, that's what I be trying to tell you. They talking about 8 games. That's already is part of it. Let's go. Home game, home stretch, like I said.
Get on light skinned, so I tend to hate, but I got to give you credit on this. This is what you've been saying. They were going to save him for the home game. I like to see that the NBA has included whatever that was called, but that's a part of the suspension. Time served, as we say.
Yeah. Because it's, to be honest, who knows if he's getting paid or not, all right? Because I can tell you this, if you my player, what's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? I ain't really trying to piss off my franchise.
Not at all.
Listen, I got fined. I remember, his name was Ted Tapscott. And Ted Tapscott was trying to fine me for anything, right? I didn't do this fine. And I had to sit, listen, you can keep sending the motherfucking fines up there all you want. They not finding me. All right, they not. We ain't playing that fine shit.
Right.
Because this is what I used to say about fines, and this goes for all you guys out there fine. We make too much money, right? When it comes to petty fines, we make too much money for your fine to change my behavior. Woo. Right? So if I'm late to something and you're gonna fine me $1,000, or I do this at $2,500, all that is fucking pissing me off.
Man.
Now you're just fucking pissing me off. Either just do it, don't tell me, or just stop. Because if you just keep trying to nickel and dime me, my ankle's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna get paid without playing.
So you're gonna go petty on him?
Right? So, and I used to tell that to Ernie Grunfeld, like, listen, with all the dumb fines and trying to, let it go. Right? Because all it does is just fucking piss people off, and it's not enough money to change the behavior. Yeah. Like, if you can fine me for being late 50 grand, I'm not being late no more.
So 50's
for a certain, you fine me 50 grand, I'm not being late no more. 1,500.
10? What about
fuck
10?
off.
What about 10?
10 grand for being late?
Or not showing up for an appearance. I remember Ticket used to not show up to appearances to take the 10 grand fine. Be like, fuck that.
Appearances, like team appearances?
Yeah.
Who the fuck showed up to those?
I'm asking. It was a 10 grand fine. He was like, man, fuck that shit, I ain't going.
Yeah.
Bill it.
Listen.
I'm like,
my thing was always, I always pulled this, hey, I get paid for 82 games. All right, 82 games. I don't see nothing in here that says appearance fees and shit like that. So, you know what I mean? So if I don't make it to this, you can't find me. If not, ouch.
Ouch.
You just throw it out there. You just throw it. I don't want to miss no game. I'm playing against the sorry motherfucker today. I'm about to get my points up. But you just said, ouch.
No more
appearances. I'm glad they figured out that felonious probing conduct.
Yeah.
Conduct. Partying in a strip club. All right, we got it.
Old
Davis
Stern Jr. He got in front of it.
No, Davis Jr. No, Senior would have gave him. Woo.
You'd have put the hammer down on him.
What? Bully. He would try to bully him.
So David Stern Jr. is more lenient.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you think this 8 games is fair, unfair?
The 2 games he got was fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
These 6 games of, working on myself, I get ready for fucking Monday. Yes, that's fair.
I like
it.
As long as he's back Monday, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's it. It's fair. Monday's fair.
You hitting a higher or lower on the underdog pick if he's back Monday?
No, he's playing Monday.
Are you going higher or lower?
Higher.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm going higher.
We don't give advice here.
That man's
Who he playing?
I'm just telling you what we will
Dallas.
do.
Dallas at Memphis?
So it's Golden State, Dallas. So basically, they're on the road right now. So them 4 games they were sent, they're on the road. So basically, all they did was just, they just added one more game. Okay. So he has basically starting Saturday. There's 8 games. They have 8 games, but 7 of them are at home.
So you think Ja don't skip a beat? He comes back.
No skip, nothing.
No skip.
He gonna come vicious, boy.
Oh, he
coming vicious. He dunking on the first motherfucker he see down there.
Yeah, I think he goes ham because he gets the calls. I think they need to get that entertainment value back.
Yeah.
Because I think it's lost right now in the shuffle of the games that's been played. No Kyrie, no Luka. We haven't seen any explosive performances. I'm not gonna say that ratings have dropped.
Yeah.
But let's just say this little scandal has put a little riff in the little ripple.
Yeah.
So Ja has to come and perform just to be like, okay, this is why we need him.
Well, shit, I know I'm watching. I know y'all will
I
be
just want the drop cross, boom. Yeah, that's all the way, boom. Hey, everything. We all forgot about everything.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. Now it's time to go 0 to 100 real quick. Look at our nice graphics, too. Ooh, I love it. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. All right, so let's talk about these Lakers. And I know people are going to be like, you talk about the Lakers all the time? Well, yeah, Lakers fans. That's what we're going to do. Lakers are currently 10th in the West. They actually beat the Pelicans last night, had a 40-point lead. Got a little scary in that fourth quarter, though. D'Angelo Russell came through with a nice steal, though, to help preserve the game. But if they would have tricked that off, somebody would have been in Guangdong. But they won the game and actually they actually dropped to 10th in the West. So after the game, Darvin Ham said that the team will continue to rest AD on back-to-backs, which means that AD will be out for the Lakers game tonight against the Rockets. Look, Rockets one of the worst teams in the league, but just coming off beating the Celtics, and now essentially Lakers don't really have a big. I think Wenyen Gabriel will get a ton of those minutes, but if he gets into foul trouble, it might be scary hours. So the Lakers have one back-to-back left this season. That's April, I think, 4th and 5th against the Jazz and Clippers. So what are the chances, 0 to 100, that AD plays a back-to-back this season, knowing that there's only one left in April?
I don't give a fuck. I don't care, bro. Like, listen, this is not a Lakers support channel.
Man.
Okay? This is not a Lakers support
So
channel.
0
I
was the
don't
number.
care. I stopped caring when they did my Westbrook like that.
Yes.
All right?
But
They got one back-to-back left. They say he ain't playing no more back-to-backs. I believe him. Just like I believe he said he was going to bench Westbrook for some trash. He did it. That man is a man of his word.
Man.
Okay? All right? I'm believing everything that goddamn motherfucker say, okay?
So my question, though, is if we get to the point where that back-to-back becomes essential to them making the playoffs, but you're resting AD on back-to-backs to help make the playoff and keep them healthy for the playoffs, do you
I believe
get your ass out there and play back-to-back?
I believe him. He made Russell Westbrook come off the bench, right? LeBron James was gone. Anthony Davis was gone. They played a man named Juan in front of Westbrook.
Juan?
Somebody named Juan Carlos something.
Juan Toscano.
No.
Anderson, no JTA. No JTA slander on the show, Gil.
Over Westbrook?
I'm not Darvin Ham.
What I'm saying is that's how stubborn the man is,
Yeah.
where you have Westbrook on your team. He's a third option. Your first two options gone, and you still got Westbrook on it. You know how far you had to go in your bench? You had to get people from the D-League, and you just gonna start them? So if he says AD won't play back-to-backs, I don't give a shit. If it's the game he's supposed to play against the Clippers, and this game is supposed to be the championship, that man gonna do it.
For sure.
He gonna be benched.
For sure.
Hey, AD better get his ass out there. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, it's
They showed me.
It's Laker
I need
culture,
Jeannie.
right?
I need Jeannie Buss to go ahead and
They
make
showed
that,
me they're about
that
business.
OG call.
They're about business, strict business.
Strict business. 0.
So you think he? Oh,
Fit his ass down.
please.
His ass-
Darvin Ham ain't playing that shit.
Yeah.
He from Saginaw.
I'm with
So
you.
if you're the Lakers, you risk. And look, odds are
He probably the borderline of Flint and Saginaw, so that's a whole nother man.
but
Man.
he got the,
He, between both of them, you got a whole
So-
nother beast.
tough upbringing right there.
looking like Debo, but so you think no shot?
No.
Ooh, do you agree with it? If you Darvin Ham, and I need AD to go out there and give me a dub, and if he don't play, and like I know AD Bron, and look, they very well might be.
And it's the one. So you're saying if it's the game between, like the Clippers is the last one.
So the last one, I think April 4th, 5th. They got.
Oh, now I got
Jazz
more
Clippers.
games after that. What do I give? I mean, they
I
got
think
more
there's
games.
1 or 2 more games after that.
It all depends. Situational.
So if the situation is we need to win this game against the Clippers to get in the playoffs, you saying AD chill?
You said who's the other two teams?
So for what?
The last two back to back.
It's Jazz Clippers.
Then he won't play against Jazz. He'll play against Clippers.
Oof. He can't do both?
If he's playing back to back, because hopefully LeBron is playing, and then LeBron can play against the Jazz, AD, and LeBron play against the. He's got to play chess at that point if you're gonna be.
Get his ass out on the court and go get us this dub.
Listen. The coach is the one who said that bullshit out loud.
Go pull up on him.
Hell no. I don't want- You want me to get my ass whooped.
Hey, Darvin.
I'm just like the rest of them. I talk behind the camera.
So Lakers still have a roster spot open, and Wenyen Gabriel's probably going to be playing a ton of 5 in AD's absence. So should they make a move for a big man? You got Boogie Cousins out there. You got Dwight Howard out there. You got UCLA legend Moses Brown lingering, who can at least give you some minutes. Because Mo Bamba is likely out for the rest of the season.
Who?
You ain't heard the Shaq West song?
First of all, we're talking about a dude who averaged 11 minutes. He was out already. I don't mean to be rude, but let's just come on. If I need a big, going into the playoffs, if the relationship is good.
You need a big now.
No, I'm saying if the relationship is good with Dwight Howard and the Lakers, then I'll go him because one, I know he's gonna be in shape. I know if we end up playing, the Joker, I know he can handle.
He got that mind control.
He can, handle that matchup. So, he'll be a guy that I'm looking at.
All right, fellas, next up, we got to talk about the team the Lakers beat last night, the New Orleans Pelicans. They've been dealing with the injury bug all season. They were first in the Western Conference back in December. A lot of people thought it was Fugazi, and they were correct. They're 12th now. But let's talk about Zion. So Zion's been battling an injured hammy. He'll be out for at least another week. But this season, he's putting up 26, 7, and 5 assists, but he's only played 29 games. in the last 3 seasons, including this one, so 29 games this season, 61 last season, the year before that, 24 games. So now we're going to do a little role playing. You guys are the Pelicans. What are the chances 0 to 100 that the Pelicans will trade Zion?
We had this conversation.
We did.
And that's why it was a very spirited convo, so that's why I had to bring it to the show.
Since you were the GM and you had your math, let's go.
100%.
You
Are
think
you-
100%
are you
they
trading
can trade
him?
him?
I'm trading them. I'm trading them just because the inconsistencies, the market, and he needs to be somewhere bigger. He needs to be in a bigger place. He needs to be in a bigger place.
Wait a minute. That is not what you
That's what
said.
we talked about.
No. That's what we talked about. Remember we did our math, right? It was like how many games can he play to make you happy as an owner financially?
I said 50.
50.
Right. And he only averaging 29.
He had 29 this season,
29 this season, 61 last season.
and then 24 the year before that.
Right. So I'm saying that he not gonna make the 50 to make.
You don't think he'll make the 50?
He not gonna make the 50.
Oh.
So we have to get rid of him just to get
But
our
50,
pieces
as
right.
long as he, so if he misses 31 games, you're happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Okay, I agree with that too.
Okay. So if you missed 32 games, you only play 50, y'all rolling.
Like if he played 50 games a season, his 50 games, the excitement he brings, the dominance, I can live with that as an owner.
100%.
But now if you're the owner of the Pelicans, you believe that he can actually do that.
What's the discipline around the organization? Now, this is when we talk about organizational stuff. Like, all right, is the organization disciplined enough to keep him on track? Is the medical staff good enough to keep him on track? Does he have a world-class nutritionist that's going to trim him down and keep him healthy? That's really the variable. It's like, all right, man, we need 50 games out you, big boy.
Yeah. 'Cause there's no denying when he's on the court what he brings. But he got to be on the court to be able to do that. And if you're the Pelicans and it's like, look, we drafted this guy, he's supposed to be our franchise guy, but you've seen what, happened in the Gobert trade. You've seen what they got for KD. Not to say you can get some on that level, but you can get close to that.
Yep.
Would you consider making that move?
He's only, what, 23? Man. 23? And I got him to win to the end of my contract.
You got him for a few more years.
He's 25. He's 22.
He's
still peaking.
He's 22.
22? No. Nah.
No trade.
No. 22? No.
And he signed that 5-year rookie max.
22 years old? No.
I'm saving.
keep him.
I'm not.
Right?
You keep it.
It's gonna be like at 22. It's kind of hard, like because he's still in the it's still the young phase of I know what he's eating. Chicken nuggets, burgers, like you're going room service. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right? You're gonna cut off his room service? Have guards at the goddamn door so he can't go to dinner.
Keep somebody at the door.
Make sure nobody,
Curfew.
make sure no teammate orders food for him. I mean, what you know what I mean? Like,
Why not do
like
the curfew?
I played damn near 42 minutes a game, and I gained weight during the season.
What were you eating?
Hamburgers, fries, chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
Hell yeah! It was my pregame meal. It was so I have
You're eating this before the game.
You eat chocolate cake before
yes,
the game?
yes. It was a hamburger with 2 cheeses. I liked it 2 cheeses on it.
Different cheeses, different
fries,
cheeses, or the
yeah.
same cheese?
2 different cheeses.
Oh wow.
And then
rich.
I had 2 sodas, a chocolate cake with 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream.
You were drinking sodas before the game.
That's a lot of dairy, boy.
I wasn't lactose.
Shit.
You were drinking sodas before NBA basketball game.
It was my pregame lunch and my dinner.
So after the game, same thing.
Same thing. Or no, we usually went on the road, but like the night before the game and then lunch on the game. That was my meal. That was my hotel meal. You couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna kick your ass with it either. He wasn't gonna tell me I wasn't about to give you a bucket.
Oh, shit.
So if that's my meal and I'm training 3 times a day and I'm gaining weight, you can only imagine, like,
Well,
it's hard,
My
man.
question is, what are you building around Zion to keep?
It's not-
for me to say I'm going to invest in keeping you here, right? Like, let's say we keep him, we get these 50 games. Do we depend on Bi and McCullough to be his support system? What are we building around him as a franchise?
When those guys are healthy,
They're healthy.
but that's the big winner if they've shown what they're capable of.
Not that listen. They have. If they're healthy and Zion is, when we see him at his peak playing, are they better than Sacramento? Is they better than Sacramento?
So I just want to give this nugget. Bi and Zion played in 93 of like a possible 281 games together.
No. I get all that.
Okay.
I'm saying if those guys are healthy and playing, are they better than like the young Kings?
I don't think so because they don't got that point guard to drive it. I think Zion would have to play that point forward for them to be that good.
5 assists this year? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 5 assists.
But you don't think they're better than the Kings at full strength?
Nah.
I think it's
Because you don't have
one of those
like to
things that
see
we never see it. That's why. So
you
it's
don't
really
have
hard.
enough basketballs out there for Bi and McCullough and Zion to get off. You need a point guard to facilitate that, and they don't got that point guard to facilitate getting everybody involved. And
No, you only need one player to get everybody involved. Just like Sack. Sack, the guy is what the.
De'Aaron Fox.
Sabonis
it's
is the
Sabonis.
guy. Sabonis that's what I'm saying. They don't have a Sabonis. They don't got nobody willing to say, I'm going to be the guy that's going to sacrifice getting y'all the ball.
Well, technically, you don't run plays for Zion.
But you would. You would.
No, you
eventually.
never. No one.
As he gets better, you will have to.
The way he scores, just like slashing, cutting, backdooring,
Yeah.
clean up. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of games. So, like having him on a team is actually a benefit because you don't really need to run offense for him to be great.
Absolutely.
Which is a weird thing.
It is.
I've never seen someone that dominant without actually having to go through. It's just the ball finds him.
Yep.
Just the ball finds him.
So if he could play 50
We're not
games,
getting rid of him at 22. Say this shit next year, maybe. 22, no.
keeping him,
Keeping him. We're keeping
Okay.
him. We're keeping him.
concerned at all about the injuries over the past few seasons, though?
Yes.
Yes.
So how do you do to address that?
Okay, let's try it like this. I invest how much into him?
5-year, $193 million extension.
5-year,
Could go jump to 230 something if he gets an All NBA.
So my job as an owner is saying, you know what, I invested this much already. This is what I've gotten out of it. I'll take the initiative. I'm gonna spend $1 million a year on his body.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say, this is what you're gonna do. I'm gonna spend my money.
Yes.
I'm gonna have the best of the best all year round. I will give you a butler. I will give you a masseuse. I'm gonna give you a trainer in-house. I'll pay for it in-house so you can work out throughout the day, stretching and everything. So I'll spend that extra $1 million to keep him on the court extra 20, 30 games. Because it benefits me.
So basically,
$5 million saves me a wasted contract.
So basically, your approach as New Orleans would be like Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're not trading anyone under 25. No. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm looking. I look at that scenario.
I can't take credit for it. I can't take credit for it.
I look at that scenario though, like, well, what happens if that doesn't play out? Like, if your investment in him doesn't convert over to him being able to like accept the accountability that I got to get my body right. Look, he's investing this money in me, and he still doesn't do it. It's gonna be like, this is Zion problem. This is not a investment problem. This is he don't want to do it.
No, he can't do it. He's 22.
So how long do we wait for him to do it?
I paid $5. If I already paid $195, I'm gonna pay extra $5. I already invested $195. So I'm just trying to protect my asset.
But look at what your investment already panned out. 29 games.
Yes.
61.
That's why
and then,
I'm
24.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna throw an extra $1 million a year.
To put a fire in his ass. Like
Like LeBron, right? He's not LeBron.
Right.
When did LeBron started paying $1 million for his body?
He got to a
right?
certain age.
Right, so certain age. So I'm like, I got 195. This is my future. Let me go on ahead outside of him. I know at his age he's not actually capable. He's 22 years old.
By himself.
You know, it ain't no This ain't no diet. Show me a 22-year-old on a strict diet in sports.
Right. You're right.
Right, Ocho Cinco still eats McDonald's.
Floyd too.
Floyd, you know, so it's like one of those things where I'm saying, you know what, I'm just gonna throw in an extra $1 million on my behalf, and I'm gonna put the people around him.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes owners give the players too much credit.
Yes.
And the owners is not protecting their investment.
Mm-hmm.
They're not protecting their investment. It's like the investment that you made to protect it is pennies on a dollar at this point. It's pennies on a dollar. Like when Toronto, when Kawhi was basically saying, I'm lonely here, right? I'm lonely here. You know, I want to be in LA closer to my family. I'm willing already to pay you this. All you need is your family.
Bring them on out.
All right, so I'm just thinking, you know, I don't know if he's in the inner city. I don't know if you got friends. Do they got passports? If they don't got passports, I can hook that up. You know, do they have, you know, child support? You know, at that time, what, 5,000, 10,000 won't get, I'll pay that. I got some some flights. It'll cost me an extra $200,000 a year to make him happy, that his friends can come back and forth. Your phone bill. Now, people don't think about little things. Phone bills, his friends can't call because they can't afford the phone bill. Our cheap ass ain't trying to do it either. You know, we even though it's a little money, we ain't trying to ask you about a fucking phone bill on it too, man. Right? So it's one of those things where it's like, it's gonna cost you $200,000 to keep him.
Yeah.
$200,000 extra a year to keep him? Deal.
So you're basically saying the owners need to put the money where their mouth is.
They need to, common sense ain't that fucking common sometimes. Common sense. You have American, like Steve Francis, right? Number 2 pick, Toronto, or Vancouver picks him. He don't want to be there. There's a reason. You need to find out what that's too far. Even though it's right here, it's too far. So you have to try to get inside the mind to make it feel like home and feel like the States.
Absolutely.
And that's something that you got to pay out of pocket sometimes because it makes sense. It's like I gave you enough money, you do it yourself.
And that's what they do.
Like I'm 21, bro. Like you go to any. Have y'all seen the doc? LaMelo Ball. Y'all seen LaMelo Ball's house? The big ass house?
Crazy.
Right? Crazy as hell, right? Nice. I guarantee you, 2 rooms that motherfucker decorated.
Oh.
2 rooms. Because
Just sitting in there.
Just 2 rooms, the other damn 12 empty.
Man.
He's not an interior decorator. He don't know what he's doing. He's just gonna decorate the rooms he associate with.
Yep.
You know, he's not gonna furnish the whole place. He's not Michael Jordan. Even if he has the $20, $30 million a year, he's gonna live how his mind tells him. It's gonna be short room. You'll have NBA players that's played in this league 4 or 5 years and their whole house ain't furnished yet.
They living like the yin yang twins.
They're living like college kids. Yep. The college kids, right?
That's a bar, bro.
I got the bed on the floor.
Yeah,
I sleep in this
right?
room.
Am I right? You've been to teammates' house and like,
100%.
how long you been here? Oh, like 4 years.
Shit. You just move in here?
You don't got no living room furniture. You ain't got no kitchen. Yeah, I just eat in the room.
I just be chill. I just eat in the kitchen.
I ain't got no friends. I just eat in the room. You make $12 million a year. What you talking about?
You ain't got no friends.
All right, well, let's shift over to the college side. Obviously, March Madness is tipped off with the first 4, Tuesday and Wednesday. We got the actual official tournament starting on Thursday. But we want to go back
Tomorrow, Thursday?
This Thursday, Gil.
Why you say Thursday like we do not shoot every day?
Because for the people at home that don't know what day it is, I thought it was Tuesday for the longest today till y'all told me it was Wednesday.
Common sense ain't
It'd be
common,
a blur.
Man. You got to tell them. You got to tell them sometimes.
I don't like all this. Y'all in the chat know what I'm talking about. So it starts tomorrow because if they watch this a week from now, they'll be like, oh shit, it starts tomorrow?
Okay, I got you.
I'm just saying. But back in December, Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo has some interesting things to say about the NCAA transfer portal. He said, my biggest fear of the transfer rule is anyone going to learn how to fail. And that's the problem nowadays. Back in our time, you wanted to transfer, your ass had to sit out a year, and then you had to, hope that your skill set was still good to go when you came back. Nowadays, You sign on somewhere, you're at North Carolina, you're at Arizona, oh, I'm not feeling this shit, I'm out. I can play the next year. So are you rolling with the NCAA transfer portal?
Listen, it ain't rolling or not rolling because it's here.
Yeah.
And I think parents need to actually realize what is actually happening. Because it's kind of our age, and we're thinking that it's, you know, if I go to this school, right, and I transfer, I gotta wait a year, boom. Now that players can like transfer and then be available, that trickles down to high school.
Yeah.
What happens in high school now is these coaches don't have to worry about, like, if I offer you and say, hey, we looking at you, and you be like, all right, you know, I'm gonna think about it, wait. I don't have to wait a week no more. No. Fuck you, going to the next kid.
I'll just wait till March. And we got kid was all conference in his league. He's gonna be a senior next year. He put up 18 a game. Yeah, you killed in high school, but shit, I could just go get him.
I can go get him, and like even it can hurt this type of player. Let's say you're the third best player in your position. So you're the third best point guard in the country. You're the number 3, you know, and you saying, all right, I got you 5, I'm going to narrow it down to my 5. Oh, that shit don't work no more. That shit don't work. All that y'all parents try to do that decision shit now. Yeah, we gonna top out that. Listen, last year, the freshmen, those top 3 guards didn't like their situation.
Right.
The sophomores, those 3 guards didn't like their. Now I got 6 top guards who got experience. I don't need your little ass no more.
Man.
I do not need you. I got 6 guards that's better than you, that's older. I don't need to focus on you no more because they can transfer and come play now. So now there's not as many scholarships being given out.
Yeah.
So if someone is offering you, someone is interested in you, and I don't think parents look at this. When someone offers you a contract, a scholarship, that is free money. Look at it's money. So when you saying, yeah, I think about it. You think about the money? That's money. That's paper. That's what you're talking about. That's paper. That treat it like paper. You just told someone $100, $200, $300,000 free scholarship. That I got better options. I mean, keep my options open. All right, keep your options open, little motherfucker.
What that sound like though? Sound like college free agency, right?
Yep.
College free agency.
And it's at a whole other level. And that's another one of Izzo's points that it makes it a lot different. There's no restricted. I'm just saying.
I'm torn, man.
But I'll present it to you like this though. For the longest time, let's say you're at a smaller school, you make the tourney, your coach kills. Oh, I'm gonna be here forever. I'm gonna be your father figure here. Oh shit, I just got a better offer at another school. I'm gonna go take this bag.
Right.
See y'all later. How much do the coaches need to be accountable in this situation as well? Because I'm saying, Gil, oh, you come play here, you're gonna be starting. We're gonna run everything around you. Then you come and it's like, oh.
Yes.
Well, think about it. Let's say Michigan was your number 1 option, right? And you decide to go to North Carolina, right? And then you and North Carolina don't get along.
Yep.
Right? Where are you going?
I'm trying to go to Michigan.
Michigan.
Right away.
Now everybody now let's say I signed up to Michigan, right? Then you just came in. I'm done.
Absolutely.
Now I gotta hit the portal next year.
Or sit behind me.
Or sit behind you.
Right.
Yeah.
Depending on what year you are, shit, let's say he's a freshman going into a sophomore, and I'm a freshman coming in, and the team was about to be around me. Now it's around him.
Yeah.
But now I gotta transfer somewhere. Now I messed up, and that's what the portal's about to happen. And these parents better adjust because I can see the shit coming.
Oh, it's happening.
There's
now.
gonna be top players. Like if you top 10, 15, 20, you can still get squeezed out. There's gonna be players that's in the top 25 in the country. That means you can be a McDonald's All-American having to go to fucking prep school because your ass couldn't get into the D1 that was supposed to be there because, you know what I mean, a portal? You're talking about fucking 3,000 kids could be in the portal.
This is the thing about the portal. Everybody goes in, they don't come out.
Of course.
Everybody don't come out though.
Of course.
What you think?
Because it's situational, right? I love the take because I agree 100%. But there's a whole other side of it, right? Like Imani Bates, right? His situation particularly. But I look at when I was at Carolina and I was faced with I'm about to transfer my freshman year and I'm about to leave, but I'm like, I didn't come for this school for the coach to push me out. I came for this school to put my name in the rafters. So I had to make a decision like, I want to outlast this, but if the portal was open, oh yeah, I might have went to you.
You wanted?
I would, because I get to play right away.
Right.
And I know that wherever I go, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna be a factor. So having that option instead of sitting out a whole year, that's really was the decision maker. Like I do not have the leniency to sit out a year and waste a year because I don't want to be at this school. And that's why I stayed. Because I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna let him beat me, and I can't afford a whole year of sitting out because I don't know what I'm gonna waste, right? But then you look at all the other players that have these situations where the coach don't fuck with their game, or he don't get along with the teammates, or he homesick, he all the way in UConn, he from LA, like Marcus Williams, right? You look at situations like that, and it's like if the transfer portal was open, there are more options there where I can leave here and go play right away. And it don't matter who in front of me or who behind me because I'm out of a situation where it could have buried me. And I didn't have an opportunity to showcase my talent because the coach didn't fuck with me. So I'm torn because the portal's there for a reason. And it's there to give you an option. The fact that you can play now, it's a big step. But I understand the family dynamic. The parents need to understand that, hey, you could be stuck in limbo in the portal and not have anywhere to go.
One, because think about like, when you're talking about a portal, we're not talking about 20 to 30 kids, right? We're talking about hundreds and thousands of kids entering the portal, which means 90% of you guys won't even have the fucking stats.
Right. You just got his own namesake alone.
We're not talking about Imani Bates, right? Where he's he's Gatorade Player of the Year, right? Now, he can go into the portal but now he's a 3, right? He's a 3. So now everybody who's looking for a 3 has frozen what they're gonna do. That's what I'm saying. They're hold on, Imani Bates is free.
Chill.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Now we just gonna wait until he picks a place. Now, what happened to a kid that you averaged 2 last year? You 4 or 5. I don't know what the fuck you do. So now I'm hesitant too. So it's one of those things where it's a trickle down effect.
It is.
It's not. I remember when what is his name? Reddick. No, not Reddick. I'm thinking Reddick.
Team.
Luke Recker. Luke Recker, Arizona.
From Iowa, right? Or am I tripping?
No. He was from Indiana.
Indiana.
Luke Recker from Indiana.
Yeah, Mr. Basketball.
Mr. Basketball. All the way to Arizona. Right? He's sitting out that year. Now, this is what he has to look at. He has to look at me, freshman. Jason Gardner, freshman. Lamont Frazier's coming in a junior combo guard. Then you have Ruben Douglas, who's a 2 guard. He's a sophomore. Then you have Richard Jefferson, who's a sophomore, who's a 3-man, right? Then you got Ricky Anderson, who's a 3-man. Now, what ends up happening is he's ready. He's like, okay, cool, okay. I beat out Ruben Douglas, a freshman. So now you got a freshman backcourt.
Yep.
Now you got a freshman backcourt, which makes it hard for him now. Right? So now he has to sit a year while 2 freshmen gain there. Then he has to battle Richard Jefferson for playing time. And Luke Walton coming off the bench. Right? So he's sitting there like, oh shit. I can't.
Signed up for the wrong.
Then he dipped to Iowa.
And then, like, so as soon as the season started, the season, it's not like he wait. The season, like, we're talking about 3 months into school. So the season, we played our first game, like it was, one of those red-blue type games. Red and blue, I killed, became a starter. Ruben Douglas dipped, he raised his hand too.
Damn.
Yeah.
Out too. 2
freshmen starting. One's faster, more athletic. Then you have Richard Jefferson. I'm trying to make it to the NBA myself. I got to leave. Then he transfers to Iowa.
Wow.
See, I knew record Iowa, but I forgot he started Indiana, then came over to
Now think
y'all.
about it. If he was allowed to play that year, he just lost the fucking year.
Yep.
Yeah.
He would have just lost that year because he can play. Now the same thing happened. He would have lost that year any goddamn way.
Absolutely.
Because he didn't know I was going to be that good coming in. And you know what I mean? He didn't know the dynamic. You don't know what's going to happen. When you're hitting that portal and you sitting there wondering, just like free agency, watch the NBA, right? You go into the free agency thinking, I'm about my agency, I'm about to make 40 million, I'm about 30 million. There's only so much money out there. You don't sign, if I offer you a 3-year 20, and you're like, oh, nah, I'm good. A week go by, all that money cleaned up. You're like, hey, that 3-year 20? No. I got 3-year 5. Or you can take a 1-year 2. That's happened to a lot of players. That money dries up. Those scholarships dry up.
I think it's leverage based. If you're good enough to do it, because in your case, if we didn't have it now, if we had it now or back when we was playing, you at UNC, you want to dip, but they got NIL bags. Somebody comes through and says, "Look, Rashad, I got $1 million for you if you come." At least you can now finagle and finesse that, and that's what we've seen a lot in other sports.
In the portal.
So if you're good enough to go to the portal, I'm saying if you're a good player, and now I can leverage Arizona, you have a great breakout freshman season.
I'm going to the league.
Not good enough to go to the league, though, hypothetically.
You ain't on the board. But you got numbers, but not enough. It's not enough.
They telling you.
Hold on. I'm good enough. Wait, hold on. I'm
Hypothetically.
balling.
You good enough for an NIL deal, but not for the league.
And you telling me someone gonna give me an NIL deal for $1 million, but I ain't good enough to be in the draft?
Yeah.
Y'all on drugs. You high?
Good.
That's
You're
based
doing
on
it.
fan base. That's based on fan base,
Because I'm
likability.
telling you, if someone giving you $1 million, they see something. If you see it, they see it.
We talk about Julian Newman. Like, all right, little high school guys who build up a fan base to a certain point, right? We'll bring you over here for this $1 million because we know you got a fan base. You got a following, right?
Yeah, I see that.
Now this following, you ain't good enough to get to the league yet.
Yeah, but you're going to get there.
But you can get there.
But that's how schools are moving now, and I like to see a lot of schools, UCLA, how they start to move. Like, we got a ton of bread. You could just start, all right, dude, you come over here, we're going to break you off.
That's what I said. It's gonna get a lot of kids are gonna get hurt. It's not gonna be. It's there's only so many scholarships, right? So like imagine if Arizona, we don't talk about UCLA. Arizona has.
You're going to talk about when we advance farther than y'all in this tournament.
Yeah, won't.
Stop.
You have three.
Stop.
You have 3 scholarships, right? Three scholarships are going. Right? And then that portal, they got, we want you, we looking at you, we looking at you. And then that portal hits and 3 dominant players come by and they want to come to Arizona. Those 3 players that was looking at Arizona, done.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've already said, yeah, I'm going to choose Arizona. Done threw the other hats. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Now what ends up happening, now you got to, hey. That's what I'm saying. It's not like it hurts. I know, like, this person's left, so it freed up this scholarship.
Yeah.
But it's hurting another scholarship. So it's one of those things where you have to really be mindful. Everyone from high school, juniors, seniors, everyone has to look at what's going on in them portals because them scholarships are not going to be available. So if you're a top tier player right now and no one's calling, there's a reason.
Well, it should be criteria based. I think they need to put a criteria into the portal that the top 5, the 5-star, 4-star players are the ones who get the attention. They're the one, because like you said, if you averaging 2 and you want to just get out, you're going to be stuck in the portal because don't nobody really need you.
But that's the
knows
choice you have to make by doing it.
Yeah.
But here's the other side too, and we'll move on. A lot of people don't realize that these scholarships are 1 year renewable. They think, oh, you signed a scholarship, you're getting it for 4 years. Like coaches have the option.
Yeah,
Like Deion when he came to
year
Colorado.
to year.
When that's not-
It's year to year.
when?
It's been year to year.
It's been year to year.
For the longest, bro. I
do you mean
researched
longest?
this since
Even when I played?
Yes.
2013.
Well,
Since I looked. Since I looked. It
No.
should have been
When
before
we
that
played?
too.
1 year renewables. Now, most schools aren't going to do that because it's a bad look to be like, oh, we offered you a scholarship. But you get somebody like Deion come in like, oh, y'all can get your ass in the portal now because I'm bringing Louis with me.
National
Oh,
letter
that's
of
because
intent.
no. See, damn, that hurts.
National letter of intent. It's in there.
See, but no one's ever used it.
Rare cases.
Rare
have-
occasions. Now you can use that shit all you want.
Yeah.
So I can snatch your scholarship away from you.
100%.
Yeah. Well, that's
Every
been happening.
year.
What I'm saying, no one's ever done it.
But back in the day, it happened. It just wasn't publicized. a
Yes,
lot.
it's
But
happened.
basically
It's happened many times.
Like
They talk.
Like,
the
yeah,
coaches
you-
even threaten you with it. Like, I'll take your
yeah.
scholarship.
new
Yeah,
coach
but that's
came in. Yeah, new coach come in like, yo, you're not my guy.
Not my guy.
So,
And they'll bring you in and be like, hey, man.
No,
you ain't renewing
I've
your-
known that, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
all right, but let's keep this thing moving.
Oh yeah, I'm like Dion. I mean, yeah, listen, everybody want your contract, baby. Besides my son.
So that's my son.
He started. Y'all figure it out.
Everybody else, yeah.
So it's time for Mostly fans, Gil. So March Madness underway. Rashad, I'm gonna start with you. Everybody always talks about their favorite March Madness moment. Well, I want to know what's your most heartbreaking March Madness moment. Could be team you played on. Could be a team you was a fan of coming up.
I'm gonna go with the Villanova UNC heartbreaker.
Ooh, and the
Right.
three.
I'm not gonna say I was cheering for UNC at the time because I was going through my own little shit with them.
But you were still watching.
But I was definitely still watching. I still got love for the team, so I'm rooting. That sequence between Paige hitting the jumper and then them coming back down and knocking that thing down, bro. That
Chris
and
Jenkins.
just as a fan of basketball, it's heartbreaking to be like, ooh, y'all thought y'all had it. That's when you sleep. Like I see a guy like Gil, you don't give up on the play with 2 seconds left. I always got a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. Like, oh, how much time we got? Give it here. Let me shoot it from here. Game over. Cry. And that moment was detrimental to UNC because we definitely thought we had that shit in the bag.
Yeah.
And it was a heartbreaker.
Gil, how about yourself? What's your most heartbreaking March Madness moment?
We all know this.
Tell us.
I think you just keep doing this shit on purpose. You keep trying to throw it in my face that we lost the national championship.
Was it a fair game?
Hell no!
So wait, you supposed to have one of these rings?
I was
today?
there. I went there. See, here you go.
Supposed to have one like
We went there. We got cheated, man. 22 missed calls.
Whoa.
22. Yeah, when SportsCenter ran it back, it was 22 missed calls that they should have
Who's
called.
calling that?
We had to play like this. Just so Jay Will, because we don't call him Jason. Jay Will, right, has 2 fouls in the first. So Jason Gardner dribbles in front of him. He falls on Jason Gardner. Jason Gardner's dribbling on the floor like this. They never called the foul. He's on top of him, laying on top of him. Refs never called nothing. So go and get up.
That second half?
First.
First half, so there would be 3 fouls in the first.
He had to sit.
Oh shit. That changed the game.
Somebody, Dunleavy or what's the name, going in for the layup and he just pushed him out of bounds. Like pushed him, 2-hand. Flew, nothing. Yeah, it was so, stop this shit. Stop this shit. You know, you're going to be on timeout.
But you know that was my moment. You
You
know
made it to the final, but you could have had a
What was yours?
Mine is different. I'm gonna go recent. You had that Chris Jenkins game when I had the Jalen Suggs, Gonzaga, UCLA. They tied it up. He hit the half quarter. That shit is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I feel for those kids. I should have similar situation though. This is the thing about the Pac-12 that Pac-10 that we get got on. They always treat us like we soft, we West Coast, whatever. But then we get to the tourney and they be blowing the whistles like we these physical, grinded out teams. So same situation. I think Johnny Juzang got a bucket, should have been an and one, didn't call it. They come down, now hit the half quarter.
Johnny should have left after that series.
Johnny be tripping. We should train Johnny, man. Johnny before he was at UCLA.
Huh?
I like Johnny, man.
No, after that tournament, I don't know. Whoever convinced him to come back to college, that was the bad.
Yeah.
He should have left fire hot, Like that's when you got to have 7. You ain't that fast.
Right.
And I mean, your game is a little slow. So they say you top 5, go.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, coming back to school for?
Top 5. You supposed to go if you top 10.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Fuck up outta there.
back then it was top 5.
Yeah.
Like they was like him, like they was trying to figure out who, him, Suggs, all.
For sure.
Go. There ain't no point of going back to school. There's nothing to gain. Well, I need to win a championship. All right.
Is that a UCLA thing? Because
what ends up happening, he didn't even get drafted this year. He didn't get drafted.
Toby Bailey, one of my favorite players of all time on that 95 team, killed, I think had like 26-6 in the Natty game, but then came back. Same thing with Jason Capono. Capono had a killer freshman year.
A follow?
Yeah.
Miles Simons, too.
Miles Simon.
Should have dipped.
You got to leave. Listen, the longer you stay in college, they get to depict your game.
Yes, they do.
They get to look at your game and see your flaws. So when you have all this unknownness, go.
Man.
And on that note, it's time for us to go. And Gil, before we go, 0 you got to remember today.
Yeah.
Like the smoke! But we appreciate y'all. This has been another episode of Gil's Arena presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoop, whoop.
Hey, wait, you said 0? I did.
0 you got to remember. Nah, you just did one.
No, I was asking. So tomorrow's drinking.
It's drinking.
We're going to sip up, start a tourney. We will see y'all tomorrow, which is Thursday, which is the start of March Madness. We appreciate y'all for plugging in with us. We out.